No manera! This can't be happening!
At 34, he had already lost too much: his father to a factory accident, his small business during the recession, and finally his marriage. Life had a strange way of taking things away just when he thought he was finally stable. He lived alone in a small apartment above a closed grocery store in a quiet town outside Chicago. The nights were silent there. Too silent. The kind of silence that forces you to hear your own regrets. But everything changed the night he found the envelope. It was raining heavily. Daniel had just returned from another exhausting day of job hunting. As he climbed the stairs to his apartment, he noticed something strange on the floor outside his door: a small brown envelope. No stamp. No address. Just his name written in black ink, Daniel. He froze. No last name. No sender. He slowly picked it up. Inside was a single photograph. It was an old picture of him, taken nearly 12 years ago. He was standing next to a homeless man, smiling awkwardly, holding out a cup of coffee. Daniel remembered that day. He had been 22. Broke, struggling in college. He had only $5 in his wallet when he saw that old man sitting on the sidewalk in winter. For some reason, he had bought him coffee and a sandwich instead of lunch for himself. It felt small at the time, but apparently it wasn't. Behind the photograph was a handwritten note: "You once told me that even small kindness matters. You were right. It saved my life." Daniel's hands trembled. He sat on the floor outside his apartment, heart racing. Who sent this? Before he could think further, his phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. "Hello?" A calm, older voice replied. "Daniel Harper?" "Yes. You don't remember me fully, but I remember you." The man explained. His name was Samuel Reed. The homeless man from that photograph. 12 years ago, Samuel had been on the edge of ending his life. He had lost his family, his job, everything. That day, he had planned to jump off a bridge, but Daniel's simple act, coffee and conversation, delayed him just long enough to reconsider. Samuel never jumped. Instead, he checked himself into a shelter. Got help. Slowly rebuilt his life. Years later, he started a small repair company. It grew, then expanded. Today, he owned one of the largest property development firms in the state. Daniel couldn't breathe. Samuel continued. "I've been searching for you for 3 years." "Why?" Daniel whispered. "Because I owe you my life." There was silence on the line. Then Samuel said something that changed everything. "I want you to come work with me." Daniel almost laughed. "I have no experience in development." "I don't care," Samuel replied gently. "I care about character. You gave when you had nothing." Daniel was speechless. They agreed to meet the next day. The next morning, Daniel stood outside one of the tallest office buildings downtown. Glass walls. Expensive cars. Security guards. He felt out of place. Inside, in a large corner office, stood a well-dressed man with silver hair and kind eyes. "Samuel." They looked at each other for a long moment. Then Samuel smiled. "You still look the same." Daniel didn't know why, but he felt tears forming. They talked for hours. Samuel showed him the original cup from that coffee shop. He had kept it as a reminder. "You reminded me that I was still human," Samuel said. Then he handed Daniel a folder. Inside was a contract. Not just a job, a partnership. Samuel wanted Daniel to lead a new division, one focused on affordable housing for struggling families. Daniel's hands shook. "This is too much," he said. Samuel shook his head. "No. This is the true ending." Over the next year, Daniel's life transformed. But that's not what shocked everyone. The real shock came during the company's annual press conference. Samuel stood at the podium, media cameras flashing. He shared the story publicly for the first time, about a young man who bought him coffee when he had nothing. Then he called Daniel to the stage. The audience stood silent. Samuel announced that 40% of his company's profits would now fund housing projects under Daniel's leadership, all inspired by that single act of kindness. The room erupted in applause, but Daniel noticed something else. In the back of the room stood a woman, his ex-wife Emma. She had left him years ago, saying he would never become anything. Their eyes met. She looked stunned, but Daniel didn't feel anger. He felt peace, because success wasn't the true ending. The true ending was this: one small act, done without expectation, had created a ripple that changed thousands of lives. Samuel stepped back to the microphone and said, "Never underestimate the moment you choose kindness. It might not change your life immediately, but it might save someone else's." That speech went viral overnight. Millions watched, thousands shared their own stories, and Daniel, he went back to work the next day, not as a hero, but as proof that sometimes the true ending is only the beginning.